yesterday I called myself an idiot, right? And video my first Mustang. Yeah, but it was joking around, right? You know, just trying to have a little bit of a laugh. But today's topic is not funny. So if you were hoping to get a laugh or have a lighthearted video, you might want to take off. I really wish that you know, I could block this and age restricted so I could swear to a boost week, because I'm you know, just, you know, this guy's just unbelievable, right? You know, so today we're gonna see a real idiot, right? We're gonna see some idiotic things, right? You know, this was, you know, I'm replying to him. If you don't know who he is, I'll show you here. It's my president, my prime minister, the leader of our country, you know. You may have seen his visage, you know, dressed up as an Indian or something like that, or as Fidel Castro's son, right? Which, you know, let's just get the DNA test, okay? You can get that done in, what, 6 hours, okay? And let's put this issue to bed right now. We'll keep going over it, right? I think he is Castro's son. Anyway, you know, I'm replying to him because he said some pretty dumb stuff there yesterday on the 20th in his tweets, right? So, you know, there were several, right? And other people responded to them, right? You know, what got my attention to this, let me not forget her, right, was this video here, right? This is what I saw, right? Shield Gun of the Rebel, right? She's a, you know, it's like a news channel, right? Oh, what is this ignorant tweet about gun law? So I watched the video, right? It's very, very good. Okay, I highly recommend it. Okay, she is a gun owner herself, right? So she understands the laws, and just like all of us do, who are gun owners, or especially restricted gun owners, right? They, you know, have got a lot of training and have been vetted many, many times and understand all the legal issues surrounding all firearms and their proper safe handling and storage and transportation and all that stuff, right? You know, we're like encyclopedias, okay? Because we have to be, right? We have to inform police often, right, of the laws, right? Because they're not as conversant as we are, okay? It's truly astounding, you know, the level of ignorance in the higher levels of government and in the media, right, and in the general public, right, of what actually our gun laws are to date, right? So, you know, she not only explains, you know, how dumb he is, right, but for what our existing gun laws are, and a little bit of the history and why the media are not investigating this further, right? That's the bigger question here, right? And it's what relates to, you know, the freedom of speech type of things. All these things are connected by the dots there, right? So you may have noticed that I've tweeted several things there lately about Tommy Robinson and about Lawrence Southern, right? And about this freedom of speech issue in the UK, because I believe they're on the front lines of this battle, right? This battle is, if it isn't, it will be on our shores very, very soon, right? And you Americans, it's about, well, you know, we have the Second Amendment and we have this and then we have our, where do you think that came from? Where do you think that came from? The Magna Carta that was written like 500 years ago in England, okay? So, you know, think about that, right? And if you don't see your own media manipulating you, and you know, I know a lot of you agree with this, so I'm not going to go down that road, right? I'm not going to try and convert people or anything like that, right? You either, you know, are not happy with what you see on, you know, network TV and on places like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and other social media things in the news, right? Then, you know, keep watching, right? So this is what sparked this, right? And it got, this is, you know, my retweet, right? But he got replied to this, if we go down to the bigger one, many times, right? Many of his dumb tweets were replied to, right? But this is the main one, right? This is the one that he put out March 20th, right? Saying we're introducing new, stronger, more rigorous background checks. We already have very stringent background checks, okay? I myself, any restricted gun owner, we've been vetted more than 5 times, 5 separate occasions, okay? And had training courses and had a lot of hoops to jump through, okay? And I've recently, just this morning actually, have 2 confirmed stories of 2 recent people that have acquired their restricted status, and their background checks weren't carried out by the RCMP. So what is that telling you? That we jump through all these hoops and you're not even doing it? You're not even doing these background checks. And that's confirmed, folks. Okay? So he goes on to say, if you want to buy a gun, by law, you'll have to show a license to purchase it, right? I hope he's talking about a gun license because he doesn't make the distinction. But he says, right now, that's not a requirement. That's an outright flat lie, and he knows it, okay? And all of his people should know it, and he's out propping up some new silly gun control bill, right? And this is what he tells people, outright flat lies, that you don't need a license to go in there. It's just ridiculous. So most of these replies are from people like me, but a lot of the big ones are from almost every major gun store in Canada, saying, what are you talking about? You know, some of the replies are quite succinct and it makes them really good reading, right? But some of them are short and sweet. You know, they just said, well, you're just lying to people. You know, why are you lying to people, that telling them that they can just, it makes it seem like you could just walk in off the street and just buy a gun. Well, you can't. Okay, you just can't. In no province in this country. You know, there are some differences. We have a National Firearms Act, but we also have like provincial laws. Like you have different things in your states. Okay, there's some small variances. Unfortunately, those variances are not governed by law. They're governed by what the CFO, or the Chief Firearms Officer of that province, feels like doing. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day, and we're not going to get into that today, okay? We're just talking about this dummy, right? And his dumb comments, right? You know, it's just unbelievable, unbelievable, right? And so that's why I'm ticked off today, right? You know, at these dumb comments. And I need to share it with you. I just need to do this, right? Because I don't care if anybody watches it or not, right? I just need to get it out of my system, because that's how I express myself nowadays, is through the creative medium of making videos, right? You know, so, you know, he says a lot of dumb stuff, right? You know, the most disturbing, though, right, she touches on in her video, right, was that he, several years ago, right, in 2000 and I think, you know, 4 or 5 years ago anyway, he told everyone that he was a gun owner, right? And as a gun owner, you know, I'm with you, and I get you guys, right? That's what he, you know, was his gist, right? It's a long letter, it's public knowledge, it's out there, anybody can see it, right? And she talks about it in her video, right? Stating that, you know, as a gun owner, blah, 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 right, you know, and then he says, but unfortunately, my guns were stolen from my country home in Quebec. I'm like, okay, well, that's not good. Where are these guns, you know? Are people out shooting people with them, or, you know, robbing 7-Elevens? What are they, you know, where are your guns, Justin, right? But, so this is several years ago that he told us this, right? And yesterday, his office says, not his official words because he won't answer our questions, right? But we all want to know, are you a gun owner or not, right? So yesterday, his office told us, the world, right, and Canadians, that no, he is not a gun owner, okay? And they made it sound like he never was, okay? So what is it? Are you a gun owner or not? And what happened to these guns? Because from what I can gather, there's more than enough evidence for you to be investigated for the proper care and storage of your firearms. They need to be at your primary residence, okay? And with a trigger lock and in a safe, all right? So what's going on, Justin? Where are your guns? Were you a gun owner, or were you lying back then just like you're lying today? I think it's the latter, right? And there's the kind of debate going on. It's like, well, is this guy just this dumb, right, that he doesn't even know what the laws are in his own country, even though he's trying to change them, right? Or did he purposely lie to us, right? I think the answer is obvious, right? Because he's a proven liar, right? And he's just lying to us again, but he's not. It's just so bold-faced, and I don't care what you think about guns, okay? I want to know what you think about your prime minister or a leader of a country going onto Twitter and posting bald-faced lies, right? So this was one of my responses, right? Because the rules for taking handguns to gun shows, right, and across the border, and to unusual places is what that says. So I said, what is an unusual place? Like your country home in Quebec where your guns were stolen from? You know, yeah, I'm not going to get an answer from the guy, right? You know, but it needs to be, you know, retweeted, right? You know, that's all I'm asking you, right, is to please talk about this, right, and share it and retweet it, right, and going, you know, how dumb does this guy think that we are? Thanks for watching. Have a great day.